Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Fish fans, and welcome to your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. My name's Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. I have no idea why I'm so excited today. You can see my social media down there at JimGrease_. Always happy to bring you a show. Always happy to be here for the day-by-dayers. And those of you who are wandering in and out, just kind of surfing your way and letting the tides of the internet take you wherever they take you, right? Well, you're here with your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST today, and I'm happy to have you with me, as I am every single day with your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. We know you have choices. We know that you love to surf around and find all kinds of great content, and you're entitled to that, and the world is full of it. We love to give that to you here at Locked On. Thanks for making Locked On Marlins POSTCAST your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And today's show is brought to you by, tonight's episode brought to you by Tax Network USA. Did you know that it's never too late to resolve your tax issues with the IRS? But you don't want to wait. The longer you wait, the worse it gets type of thing, you know. Reduce your tax debt. Get help from a team of licensed tax professionals. Call 1-800-549-1000, 1-800-549-1000, or visit tnusa.com/lockedon. This fly is going to die. I don't know if you've seen this thing. Oh, man, wait. He's coming. He's going to get his. So Tax Network USA, tnusa.com/lockedon, 800-549-1000 for Tax Network USA. That's right. We threw the overlay up during the during the title sponsor read. This fly is driving me crazy. I don't know if you've seen this thing. It's like he's taunting me. He just keeps going, yeah, you're going to get me, huh? You know how you turn up the AC in your house and the flies are all going to die soon anyway? And, oh, he's flying. You see him right there. He's taunting me. If you just see me, he goes, where's my chopsticks, man? Mr. Miyagi, man catch fly with chopstick. Oh, accomplish anything. Yeah, this dude's going to go. He's definitely going to go. Let's see if I can get this light. Looking. The hair's all right today. Yep, we're liking it. So thank you for being with us wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, and, of course, right here on YouTube, Locked On Sports Miami. Oh, that was close. I could, right there. Anyway, I'm not going to mess with the fly anymore, but the Marlins, tough one today, man. There's no sugarcoating this one. 9-0, ripped by the Mariners. They just get crushed, and it was the bottom of the lineup that did all the damage for Seattle, for the most part. I mean, you know, you had a little bit of stuff going on at the top of the order with J.P. Crawford. He had a run scored. They struck him out 3 times today. And Rojas had a couple of hits. But, man, it was those 7, 8, 9 boys. More on them in a minute. But this game was about 2 things for the Marlins and Mariners. The Marlins couldn't hit. The Marlins can't hit. How about we just say that? The Marlins can't hit. I love this team. I love how scrappy they are. I love their enthusiasm. I love their energy. I love the way they play hard for themselves, for each other. I love the way this team competes. I do, but they can't hit. Let's just be real. It's a Major League team, and they can't hit. They can't hit the way a Major League Baseball team's supposed to hit. Don't make me go into all the numbers. Don't make me dig up all the stats. Don't make me dig up their embarrassing lack of power numbers. Don't make me do it because I like them. I like these guys. I like the way they play the game. Right? I do. I promise you I do. But they can't hit. They're not a good hitting team. They're not. And right now, their pitching is being decimated by injuries. More on that in a minute. But they just can't hit. They just can't hit. And, you know, whose turn was it today? It was Logan Gilbert. And you could talk about Logan Gilbert. Okay, 8 innings his last time out. Great start for him that day, too. Right? Right? Yeah. Okay, cool. No worries there. Where are we at? Logan Gilbert. He doesn't throw anything spectacular. He doesn't throw anything into the upper 90s. He's got a 4-seam fastball. He's got a cutter. He's got a slider. He's got a curveball. He's nothing special, man. Nothing special. But, you know, Logan Gilbert's a good pitcher. I mean, he's got an ERA of 2.71 and a whip of 0.89. He's a good pitcher, man. He's a really good pitcher. I mean, he's got he goes deep into games. It's not going to overwhelm you with power like you'd think a big 6'6" righty would do. His stride takes him halfway to the plate. You hit him with your backswing when he's finishing up his delivery. So it's he's right on top of you, but he doesn't have anything spectacular in terms of stuff. The slider can be filthy. The slider's filthy. I'm just going to say this. You know, the cutter's good too. He's not a bad pitcher. He's a good pitcher. I mean, he's going to give you 6 innings every time out. 1 run, 4 runs, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 runs in 6 2/3, 2 runs, 1 earned in 7. Last time out, 8 innings pitched, 2 hits, 9 strikeouts against Texas, a good hitting team. You know what I'm saying? So this dude can ball, he can throw. I'm not by any means saying anything, disparaging about Logan Gilbert, and it's not. But look, every starter looks this way against the Marlins. People are salivating as the series get closer. Am I lined up against the Marlins? Oh, baby, I'm lined up against the Marlins. I got a chance for a no-hitter. This is how pitchers think. I've been covering Major League Baseball for 30 years. They see the Marlins ahead on the schedule right now. They're getting 3 hits, 4 hits, 5 hits maybe per game. They're scoring 1 run, 2 runs, maybe 3, maybe 4. Eventually, every once in a while, they erupt and have a big game or 2. But it's 1 run, it's 2 runs, it's getting shut out. You're an opposing pitcher and you see them coming up on the schedule. Well, you're putting on that napkin nice and tight. You're sharpening that knife on the fork, just going, I'm feasting on these fools. And that's exactly what's been happening. Day in and day out. Whose turn is it next is what it's been. And unfortunately, that's just what it's been when you're facing the Marlins right now. They're just not a good hitting team. They're not a good offensive team. They're not a good team. They're not a good team. 8 scoreless innings for Logan Gilbert. Bottom of the order went crazy for Seattle today. Dominic Canzone, 3 singles and a homer, 4 for 5, 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs, 15 hits for the Mariners. Ryan Bliss, the number 9 hitting second baseman, is 6 for 7 in this series. 6 for 7. This is not a beer league softball team. This is Major League Baseball. The guy's 6 for 7. It's not a video game. It's not RBI baseball, 1989. Nintendo? Come on, man. The 7, 8, 9 hitters. Ryan Bliss, 3 for 4, 3 RBIs. Dylan Moore, 2 hits, scored twice. The 7, 8, 9 hitters. That's 7, 8, 9. The 3 worst hitters on the other team. That's where the 3 worst hitters hit. 7, 8, 9. Guess what they did today? 9 for 14. 9 for 14. This is not beer league softball. They might as well have had cigarettes in their mouths while they're rounding the bases. 9 for 14 from the 7, 8, 9 hitters. 9 for 14. They might as well have been drinking pitchers of beer in the on-deck circle. Lord have mercy. 5 RBIs, 6 runs scored. Bliss is 6 for 7. 6 for 7. Hitting the ball all over the field. Hitting it hard. Guys, this should not be happening. This should not be happening. And Jesus Luzardo was scratched today from his start. Weathers is already on the IL. Sixto Sanchez, thank God he was on the IL because he's terrible this year. Weathers, who was your best pitcher, IL. Luzardo, who was your best pitcher alongside him, IL. And not only that, your best possible trade chip, Jesus Luzardo, to get something back from this godforsaken season of misery. Luzardo's can't go anywhere till 2026. He's locked up under contract. He's a good, solid starter. He's a number 3 starter for a contending team looking to make a World Series run, not named the Dodgers, Yankees. He's a number 3 for anybody else, maybe a 2 for some teams. He's not a 1 on a contending team. Maybe a 2. Maybe a 2. He gets it going. He's got an ace in front of him. Maybe a 2. But there's a lot of teams out there looking for pitching and pitching depth starters as you get toward that postseason. That number 3 and 4 starter becomes crucial for the Dodgers, for the Yankees, for the Orioles, for the Phillies, for all those teams. Those 3 and 4 starters and the long relievers become huge. Huge. Look at the Dodgers in the pandemic year, the way that they were starting relievers and starters were relieving, and they just kind of had that hodgepodge of pitching all over the place, and they still kind of do that. So teams are different now with the way they construct their pitching staffs. A guy like Luzardo is gold, and he's under contract till 2026. Not a ton of money. Can't go anywhere. But now they're saying 4 to 6 weeks with the lumbar issue. Yeah, and Braxton Garrett, too, throwing in the bullpen this weekend, and his back is in discomfort. So if you're counting, that's Sanchez. If you're counting, that's Weathers, that's 2. If you're counting, that's Luzardo, that's 3. If you're counting, that's Garrett, that's 4. 4 starters on the IR. This year just keeps going from bad to worse. Score points, though, for Shaun Anderson, the kid who came up from AAA Jacksonville to start today. Coral Springs, shout out Coral Springs, local kid. Had a good year with the Giants. Not a good year, but his best major league year with the Giants in 2019. His ERA was over 5. That was the year in which he got the most starts and the most work. This year he's been called up twice for spot starts. Got crushed by the Nats on the 14th. Got crushed today. I mean, it's hard to get me 6 runs, 5 earned on 8 hits. Did I get him? Oh, I missed him. 6 runs, 5 earned on 8 hits. But A+ for the mullet, man. He's got the Motley Crue mullet, too. This thing's like almost down to halfway down his back. But a tough one for the Marlins, you know. And for Anderson coming up from AAA to face this team, the Mariners' first-place team, and they're just hitting the ball all over the field. But the Marlins, even up on the series, they won the last series over Washington 2-1. Maybe right the ship a little bit, kind of got things on track. You saw me hit him, right? You saw that. I hope you saw that. I'm going to go back and watch later. I got him. He's going to think twice before he comes back here again. That's like, you know what I mean? That's how you just stay racked in and focused on a big league. You know what I mean? Like sliders, sinkers coming. Just hit that fly. Yeah. Just hand-eye coordination. Not a bad thing. That fly is not coming back. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. My name's Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. It's the little things in life we have to amuse ourselves. 9-0. I mean, I sit here and watch this whole game, and I have to sit here and be subjected to this, and then I have to do the show after and break it down for you in a way that will somehow make it entertaining. How do you make a 9-0 blowout loss entertaining? How? By trying to catch a fly the whole time, every time it flies into the screen. I don't know. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. We're just getting started on your Saturday 9-0. The Marlins lose to the Seattle Mariners, first place AL West Mariners. The series is tied at a game apiece, and I don't know who's going to pitch at this point for the Marlins tomorrow. We know who's not going to hit anyone in a Marlins uniform, apparently, but we're going to try to make sense of all this when we come back. Talk more about them 7-8-9 boys in the Mariners lineup, and Logan Gilbert, the latest starting pitcher to look like a first-ballot Hall of Famer against this Marlin lineup. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. I am Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, and I got a story to tell. Biggie, I got a story to tell. Dun, 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 dun. I kicked down doors for you. Even left all my mother hoes for you. All right, anyway, you know that instant confidence boost you get when you listen to a Biggie Smalls track. No, you know what I'm saying. You know that instant boost of confidence you get when you're fresh with the fit, the outfit, the fit that makes you look really good. You're looking your best. You're styling, you're profiling, you're limousine riding, Ric Flair. Woo! That's what I get with Stitch Fix. That's how you feel. You ever see the Nature Boy doing his things, dropping elbows on nobody in the middle of the ring because he's all fired up wearing that suit? That's how you feel when you work with Stitch Fix, man. You get a stylist at Stitch Fix who understands your style, your size, and your budget. Every man's different, man. We're like snowflakes, unicorns, baby, unicorns. They do the shopping for you at Stitch Fix. It's the easiest way to upgrade your wardrobe this season. Also the easiest way to update your wardrobe this season. We're upgrading your wardrobe. How about that? We're just getting words backwards here. But you know what? Stay with me, right? You easily upgrade your wardrobe this year with a professional stylist that helps you find new on-trend favorites that will work for you. That's right. I just give my stylist my size, my style, my budget preferences, tell them I'm fly and I want to stay fly. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I order boxes when I want and how I want, no subscription required, and they send 5 just for me pieces, plus outfit recommendations and pro styling advice. I keep what works. I send back the rest. No problemo. My stylist always sends just right pieces, and the fit is on point. It's like he knows me, right? It's like he's here in my closet just waiting with the tape. It's like they have style ESP. I don't know how they do it, but they just get me, and they'll get you too. Stitch Fix makes it all so easy. I don't like to shop. I don't know how you feel about that. They save me that time and effort. Plus, I get the fits that make me look and feel really good. And if you don't love something, you just send it back. Shipping, returns, and exchanges are always free. By the way, I didn't get this Project Rock shirt from Stitch Fix. I keep touching my shirt. But it's like, what is he touching his shirt for? But you know what I'm saying. I use them all the time for the style that makes you feel as good as you look. Now's the time to get started. At StitchFix.com/MLB, you get $100 off. That's $25 off your first 4 fixes for a limited time only. That's StitchFix.com/MLB for $100 off. StitchFix.com/MLB. Must redeem within 7 days of sign-up. Offer does not include kids' fixes. They even have kids' fixes, man. I got my kids styling and profiling from a young age, but we all need help once in a while, right? I don't know about you, but ever since that fly started flying around, I get a little itchy here. Locked On Marlins postcast, Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, Gries, and I believe I can take the Stitch Fix overlay and just real quick throw up that one and let you know that tonight's episode is brought to you by Locked On Marlins postcast, brought to you by 3, 2, 1. Give up yet? Tax Network USA. That's right. Did you know that it's never too late? It's never too late to resolve your tax issues with the IRS. They will find you. Do not wait. Reduce your tax debt. Get help from a team of licensed tax professionals by calling 1-800-549-1000. That's 1-800-549-1000, or visit tnusa.com/lockedon for Tax Network USA. Don't want to mess with those tax boys and girls. You know what I'm saying? You might have those psyops running around in your neighborhood. That's a term I learned today, a psyop. Look it up. I don't know. It's funny. The stores you go to every day and the conversations you overhear, and yeah, sometimes you have to just throw yourself into one and you leave going, why in the blue hell did I jump into that conversation? Which is hopefully not the way you feel about this show day in and day out. Thank you for making Locked On Marlins Postcast your first listen every day. We're free. We're available wherever you get your podcasts, whether that's Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart. You know the drill. And also here on YouTube, Locked On Sports Miami, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Locked On Marlins Postcast. The Marlins lose 9-0 to the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners hitting the ball all over the field today. They look like a first-place team in that game today. And Logan Gilbert looked like Logan Paul. Everything coming up roses for Gilbert today. And, you know, some of the things that I found to be, you know, I did find it to be pretty cool with this dude today, just watching him go to work and let's see, looking at the play-by-play here, just the way that he pitched certain hitters. Like, for example, all right, I try not to go too deep because we're a postcast, right? We're just talking about the games day in and day out. I love baseball, though. Passionate for the sport. And, of course, the Mariners took a 2-run lead in the top of the first inning today. Crawford singles, Rojas singles. Crawford goes to third. The mullet's flying all over the place on Shaun Anderson. He hits France with a pitch. Rojas goes to second. Bases loaded, nobody out. Spot start coming up from AAA. Yeah, it was that kind of day, man. Feeling like you're on roller skates out there. Then all of a sudden, a wild pitch. I mean, you think a single, hit by a pitch, wild pitch. That's how you start the game. Shaun Anderson, dog. Anyway, so, yeah, and then a sacrifice fly, and there you have it. So a wild pitch scores a run, then a sacrifice fly, and then amazingly, he pitches out of the jam. He strikes out Garver and gets Raley to ground out. So how is that even possible? How is that even possible to even think about that? And where that dang third out is the sacrifice fly to center. So he gets the fly ball, the strikeout, and the ground out. And that inning could have been pure disaster. He's lucky they didn't hang a 5 spot on him, but it didn't matter. Soon they would. The game would stay, you know, right there, 2-0 for a while, and that was until their 4-run fourth inning, the Mariners. But I wanted to talk a little bit about Logan Gilbert and his Logan Paul-like approach, meaning everything worked for him today, right? Logan Paul ends up fighting Floyd Mayweather and making millions of dollars, he and his brother Jake. So anyway, Jazz Chisholm only sees 2 pitch. The way to get to Gilbert is early in the count, right? He's a big 6'6" dude. Ball moves a lot. He's got the 4-seamer at 97 miles an hour. He's got the slider about 91, 92. You know what I'm saying? And he's got the 4-seamer and the slider that he likes to throw early. He also will throw a cutter. He'll also throw a curveball, just different variations, different movements on the fastball. The way that he likes to move pitches around and hit that zone, though, I mean, just an example, he had Gordon. He struck out Gordon to start the 3rd inning, right? So Nick Gordon, who actually doubled today for the Marlins, he got him on 4 pitches. He got him on 3 swinging strikes and 1 pitch that missed. The ball was a splitter on 0-2 that was a mile out of the zone, right? So he got a 4-seamer at 96 miles an hour, low and in, down around the knees, strike swinging. Next pitch is a slider. So you've got 96 miles an hour that's diving down toward your knees as a right-hander. Or he's a lefty, so it's going away from him, right? Then you got the slider, 11 miles an hour slower, but it's coming down and in right at your knees. Then you go splitter down in the dirt. Then you get the splitter again that just drops out on you. It just drops straight down as it just gets to the hitting zone. So things like that. You know, he's 96, 97 with the different variations, the fastball, moving that one up, down, around the zone. Then he's got the slider that serves as the off-speed pitch. It's really his changeup, right? His slider's more of a changeup for him. And then, like, later in the game, he started mixing in a curveball here and a curveball there. curveball and a slider, but mostly the cutters. And then, later in the game, the velocity, the four-seamer, he was still getting it up there around 96. The cutter drops down to 92, 93. But again, he's moving the fingers on the ball, pulling the strings up, down, over, out, and he's so big. He's on top of you when he's releasing that ball. Very, very difficult to get that ball lined up and squared away facing a dude like him. He doesn't throw as hard as a Randy Johnson or a guy like that did, but he's up there. Nowadays, so many people are throwing over 100. You know what I'm saying? But dang, man, it just was, he was pulling strings out there today. And he was great his last time out against Texas, too. So I know I give the Marlins offense a hard time. I know I rip these hitters nonstop. They need to be better. They're not a major league offense. And now with, I dare even say Sanchez first, but with Weathers and Luzardo on the IR and the IL, and then think about this, right? If it's 4 to 6 weeks for Luzardo, the trade deadline's the 30th of July. And so he's out till the trade deadline. And Weathers be back soon. Those are your two best chips to trade right now for the Marlins. You already traded Luis Arraez, right? I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing right now. I don't know. Their offense is just not coming through. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown in the box score, let you know what happened there, and get you ready for the next game on the other side. But this team has got to figure out an offensive approach. Skips moves some guys up and down and around in the lineup, Chisholm, DLC, you know what I mean? But they're just not responding. They're not hitting like a Major League Baseball team. And it's one thing to run into a hot pitcher every once in a while like you did with Gilbert today, but this is happening all the time. How many pitchers, if you look back, and I'm not going to do it, so I'll take your word for it. Go ahead. Look back at the Marlins box scores from this season. How many pitchers have had season-best outings against this lineup? How many? At least one per series. Gilbert today, at least one per series. One pitcher per series is having a season-best outing against this Marlins team and this Marlins lineup right now. One per series. They got to figure out how to hit the ball. Figure out how to hit the ball, man. Your major league hitters got you there. Pitching's awesome in the big leagues right now. It's tough, but you have to figure out how to hit it, man. You have to figure out how to hit it. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. My name's Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, at @JimGrease_ on social media here after every Marlins game, no doubt about it. So pumped to have you here with me after every Marlins game. We'll be here after every Dolphins game, every University of Miami Hurricanes football game as well. It's all about the U, baby. Proud alum of the U right here. And, so we'll be here after the Dolphins, after the University of Miami games, the Heat games as well. Of course, the NBA Finals are over. The Celtics are champions, number 18. They beat the Heat in the first round of the playoffs, not the play-in crap, the first round of the playoffs, the real first round. And, of course, the Panthers 3-3 with the Oilers right now after taking a 3-0 lead in that Stanley Cup final. The Florida Panthers, they were so close to that first ever Stanley Cup. And they're still that close to the first ever Stanley Cup in franchise history. But now the Edmonton Oilers are also that close. Yeah. Panthers better rediscover that magic right now. One question before we hit the break. Are you watching Fox or ESPN on your TV all day? You have to turn down the volume because of all that shouting? Well, you don't have to anymore. Make the switch to Locked On Sports today, a free 24/7 sports streaming channel program for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't-miss analysis, opinions, and news, streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. And today's episode of your Locked On Marlins postcast is brought to you by Tax Network USA. Did you know that it's never too late to resolve your tax issues with the IRS? Don't wait. Reduce your tax debt and get help from a team of licensed tax professionals. Call 1-800-549-1000 or visit tnusa.com/lockedon. There you have it. The Marlins 9-0 losers today. They wrap up the series tomorrow. Braxton Garrett, the lefty, had been pitching a little bit better for Miami and looked really good his last couple of times out. He's a scratch, had some discomfort in the bullpen session. Who the hell knows is going to pitch for the Marlins tomorrow? You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. 9-0. They lose to the first-place Mariners at Lone Depot Park in the MIA. Yo, I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Keep it going on the other side. But first, we pay a bill, and we help you pay one of yours. That's if you've been a bad boy or girl, or you had to put some things off. Here on Locked On Marlins Postcast, we pride ourselves on getting you the latest news for your team. Whether it's the offseason, the draft, spring training, or the playoffs, it's year-round. You know what else is year-round? Collection season. Just because tax season is over doesn't mean the IRS will stop coming after you for unfiled taxes, unpaid taxes. That's right, the IRS can garnish your wages. The IRS can levy your bank accounts. The IRS can even seize your property. That means they can take your stuff away. Don't let the IRS target you. Let the licensed professionals and tax experts at Tax Network USA go to bat for you. With over 14 years of experience and an A-plus rating by the Better Business Bureau, Tax Network USA has saved their clients over $1 billion in tax debt. Whether you owe taxes, whether you have complicated matters that require tax planning, or whether you finally hit that parlay, baby, and you need help filing those taxes correctly, call 1-800-549-1000. That's 1-800-549-1000, or visit tnusa.com/lockedon, tnusa.com/lockedon. Tax Network USA. All right, we'll leave that overlay up for a minute there for you. Tax Network USA. Quick question for you as we wrap it up here. Locked On Marlins Postcast, wherever you get your podcast. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, Gries, at Jim Grease _ on social media. Follow me. I work for ESPN covering the UFC. Check out some great content there. Maybe some other UFC stuff coming in the future here. And we'll keep that under our hat for now. I can't say under my hair. My daughter will call me bald, even from the other room. Somehow she'll hear me. You know how, like, no one can ever hear a thing you say when you're a parent, and then you say the one thing that you don't want them to hear from, like, 5 miles away? I heard that. Yeah, that's my daughter. Every female in my family, for that matter. Anyway, Locked On. Great thing for sports, right? To get us away from all these things. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's also available on Amazon Fire TV and the free Fire TV channels app. It's Locked On Sports Today, and it is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today, now available on the free Fire TV channels app. Man, I'm starting to close all these windows. These windows are closing one by one. That's right, baby. The Marlins lose 9-0. 9-0 today. 9-0. The Mariners beat the Marlins. Series is even at a game apiece. And let's be real, whether it's 9-0, 90-0, or 1-0, it doesn't matter. An L's an L. Last night I took an L, but tonight I bounce back. And that's all you have to do is bounce back, baby. Bounce back tomorrow. If you're the Marlins, the only thing is we don't know who's going to pitch. I still don't see a recap up here. So we're going to get to a couple other things here in just a minute. There's the game cast. There's still no recap written. All right, let's just take you through the box score real quick before we wrap it up and get on out of here. Let's see, anything interesting on the look at the scoreboard? Damn, the Phillies are good. 12-1, pound the D-backs today. Let's see. All right, quick through the boxes. Mariners, the lineup, the 7-8-9 boys did all the damage. But J.P. Crawford, 1 for 5 with a run scored and an RBI. Also had the hat trick today. I was going to say the trick. He had the trick they had. 3 strikeouts for Crawford. Rojas, 2 for 5 with a run scored. France, the first baseman, 1 for 4. Struck him out twice as well. 1 for 4 for Raleigh with an RBI. You sensing a trend here? Yeah, the big hitters in the Mariners lineup did nothing in this game. Garver, 0 for 5, 2-time strikeout victim. 1 for 5 with a run scored for Raleigh, but then it was them 7-8-9 boys. We them boys. Hold up. We them boys. Them 7-8-9 boys for the Mariners today, man. Canzone, 4 for 5, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored, a home run. He's a .234 hitter. Not today. He was not a .234 hitter. And how about Moore, their left fielder, Dylan Moore, and he played left field and shortstop. Today, he was 2 for 5 with 2 runs scored and a rib. That's an RBI for those of you who don't know. And then, man, how about Ryan Bliss? In a state of pure bliss, living in the timeless currents of pure bliss. Who is that? LL Cool J, man. Ryan Bliss, 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. He's hitting 283 on the season. Now, dude is 6 for 7 in the series. I mean, he's jogging around the bases with a pitcher of beer in one hand and a cigarette hanging out of his mouth at this point. Are you kidding me? Ryan Bliss is having a series. 6 for 7. Whew. That's unbelievable. Yeah, the Marlins won 3-2 yesterday in 10 innings. At least this game didn't go extras after 4 in a row, 12 innings, 10 innings, walk-off in the 9th, and then a 10 inning. But the Marlins had their string of victories snapped at 2, and still it's the month of June. How does it feel when you got no wins? It's been a tough month for the Marlins, without a doubt. No diggity. So where are we at with this recap? Nothing still. The beat writers are a little slow tonight. Mariners pitching. Gilbert was the story of the game. 8 innings, 4 hits, no runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts, 92 pitches. His ERA is at 2.71. Ho-hum. Should have just let him pitch the rest of the game. Luzardo came in and pitched that 1 inning. It wasn't a safe situation in a 9-0 game. It has to be 3 runs or less, as you know. So he pitched 1 inning, and he's just struck out 2. No hits, no runs, no nothing. So 108 pitches combined for the Mariners. They struck out 8 hitters, walked just 1. The Marlins can't hit. They're not a major league offense. Anyway, the Marlins offense, I guess that would be what's the word I'm looking for? Oxymoron. There you go. Yeah. Chisholm, 1 for 2 for the Marlins. Brujan came in as a pinch hitter. He was 0 for 2. I wonder if Jazz will be okay. De La Cruz 0 for 4. Bell 0 for 3. Sanchez 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter. Bell struck out twice. Sanchez, and that was A. Sanchez, by the way. Jesus Sanchez was 1 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Tim Anderson 0 for 3. Otto Lopez 0 for 3. Nick Gordon 1 for 3 with a double. Dane Myers got an at-bat. No official at-bat. Rivera 0 for 3, Emmanuel Rivera 0 for 3, and Fortes 1 for 3. Now the full-time catcher since Betancourt is gone. Marlins pitching, Shaun Anderson right back down to Jacksonville, I would imagine, although with all the injuries, probably not. 3 1/3, 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 3 strikeouts, no walks, 70 pitches, 47 strikes, ERA 11.42. You heard what I said, 11.42. Chargois, 1 2/3, a hit, a run. It was earned, 2 strikeouts, a home run. Cronin, 2 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs. They were earned, 4 strikeouts. Bender, 1/3 of an inning, 0s across the board. And Rivera, 1 inning, 2 hits, no runs, no nothing else. Just a bad night for the Marlins. I can't even go through the scoring summary. All I see are S's. All I see are S's everywhere. Look, S. First, S fourth, S fourth, S fifth, S eighth, boom, boom, boom. Bliss, Canzone, Crawford, boom. Yeah. 9-0 Mariners. Final score. And we are out of here. Let's see. There we go. Yep, we got that spot in. 7, 8, 9 boys flex. We talked about that. Logan Gilbert tossing a gem. Luzardo to the IL. He has lumbar, lower back discomfort. And, yeah, he's been great this year for the Marlins, but he's 4 to 6 weeks on the shelf, which pretty much takes him right to the trade deadline. And with that trade-friendly contract, and he can't go anywhere till 2026 as a free agent, doesn't make a ton of money, couple million. And he's an inning eater. He's a tough lefty. He's going to get you deep into games and save the bullpen. He can be a spot starter. He can be a 3 or a 4. He can even be a 2 for certain teams. Not an ace type of dude, but he's going to be one of the top chips that the Marlins have to trade. And with him out now 4 to 6 weeks, who the heck knows what's going to happen there. So Jesus Luzardo's out. Garrett found discomfort in his back, I believe, too, when he was warming up this weekend. So that means that without Braxton Garrett pitching tomorrow, Luzardo back is out 4 to 6 weeks, and nothing on Garrett as of yet right now. So Luzardo with that lumbar issue, 4 to 6 weeks, and Garrett still listed as a starter for the Marlins, but he's not going to be. No, he's day-to-day, and he's going to be out. Yeah, and then you also got Luzardo on there now, too. So who knows who's going to pitch? The point is their pitching staff is decimated by injuries. Their offense can hit major league pitching, and they are 26-50, 7,000 games out of first place. Actually, they are 24 games back. They're 24 games out, and they've won 26 games, and they've played 76. That's all there is, Fish fans. There is no more. Your Locked On Marlins postcast on your Saturday. My name's Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Mercifully, the show comes to an end. Mercifully, this day of baseball, if you're a Marlins fan, comes to an end because they were crushed 9-0 by Logan Gilbert, Dominic Canzone, Ryan Bliss, and the Seattle Mariners. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to Tax Network USA for sponsoring today's show. Want to see you again tomorrow and every day for your Locked On Marlins postcast. My name's Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Want to thank you again for being here and remind you, as always, Fish fan, to keep your game tight and your mind right, baby. I am out.